Well, hello, and good afternoon, everybody. Happy Sunday. This is Caron, your ATX Stampin' Lady, coming to you from Austin, Texas. You guys, I am a Stampin' Up demonstrator, and I've been a Stampin' Up demonstrator for over 8 years, and I enjoy bringing you craft projects every week. Sorry about that. All right, give me 1 second. If you can hear my fan, let me know. It's just got a little hot in here, so I just needed to make sure that I turn the air on. So if you can hear it, if it's distracting, let me know and I will adjust. Welcome to Roll of the Die. If you are new to my channel, once a month, on the second Sunday of every month, I go live with the Stamp Time with Friends artisan design team. Sometimes it's 2 people, sometimes it's more than 2 people, and we create projects created with elements rolled from the die the previous month. So last month the die rolled, let me see if I can remember. Last month the die rolled DSP foil. We had to use the Stampin' Up neutral colors, punch die, Easter sentiment, and it had to be Easter themed, and we had to use punch. I think that's all the elements. All right, I'll share those with you as we use them. But all the products that you see that I use today, they should all be available in the online store. I tried not to use anything that was retiring, but anyway, in order to meet the elements, sometimes you have to dig into the stash. So all of the products that I'm using today, you should be able to find in my online store at www.sweetsignatures.stampinup.net. And if you shop in my online store this month, please don't forget to use the host code. When you place an order of $50 or more, I send you a gift just as a thank you for shopping with me, because I do know that you have plenty of other options and that you're shopping with me. I really appreciate it. Okay, so let me share with you, and if you're new to my channel, I always forget to do that. If you are new to my channel, please like, share, and subscribe. I am so desperately trying to grow my channel. I want to hit 300 subscribers. I think I was at 200. I don't remember the number. I didn't look before I came on, but I do want to be at 300 subscribers by the very least at the end of this month, if not by mid-month in May. So join me and like, share, and subscribe. If you share, please come back and share. Let me know that you've shared. You'll be entered into the drawing to win the card that we create tonight. If you are watching the replay, just make sure to indicate that you are watching the replay, indicate #replay, and also that you have shared. I will do the drawing for the card winner 1 week from today. That way, if you're watching the replay, it gives you ample time to share and come back. So what else do we have coming up before I go into creating our projects? Stampin' Up released 2 new kit collections for April. I am more than likely going to be working with the By Your Side kit when we do Kit of the Month at the end of April. I do Kit of the Month the last Friday of every month. So grab a kit, join me, and let's create these projects. All right, let's get ready to move on to our card projects tonight. So here is a card that I made for today. This is my my sample. I didn't put a sentiment on it. This one I'm going to create maybe for another occasion other than Easter, so I didn't want to put a sentiment on it, but this was my inspiration for the card that we are going to create today. So as you can see, we have the DSP. I'm using all neutral colors. Stampin' Up neutral colors, for those of you that aren't aware what Stampin' Up neutral colors are, they are Mossy Meadow, Misty Moonlight, Night of Navy, Elegant Eggplant, Pecan Pie, Basic Gray, Crumb Cake, Gray Granite, and Smoky Slate, I believe, are the neutral colors. Okay, so I am using in my projects today for neutrals, I'm going to be using basic gray, or I'm sorry, gray granite, Night of Navy, and the DSP that I'm using is coming from the Countryside Inn, okay? And so it's a fun fold. Quick, easy, and simple. So let me share with you what else we're going to be using today in today's projects, okay? I'm going to be using the Mossy Meadow ink pad from Stampin' Up, and I'm also going to be using the VersaFine Clear Nocturne from Sukaneko. Those are my inks. I'm also going to be using markers, and these markers are gray granite, light and dark. I'm going to be using Bubble Bath, and this is light and dark. Lemon Lolly, the light and dark. Now these two are not part of the neutrals, and then I'm going to be using, oh wait, I got them all mixed up here. They're in there. And then the Mossy Meadow light and dark. These are part of the neutrals. Hey, somebody's watching. Say hi. All right, so I took the opportunity and I went ahead and I'm sharing with you the measurements. Okay, so can you see? Make sure. I don't know. I gotta do something with lighting because I can't. I'm not sure you guys can see. So measurements for today. Our card base is going to be 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. It's an A2 base, 8 1/2 by 5 1/2, and I'll share with you the scoring measurements there. Our Night of Navy pieces are one piece of 4 by 5 1/4. That's for the inside of the card. One piece that is 1 1/8 by 5 3/8. Two pieces that's 2 7/8 by 5 3/8. And then one piece that's 2 7/8 by 4 1/8. For our designer series paper, we're going to use one piece that's 1 inch by 5 1/4, 2 inches, two pieces that's 2 3/4 by 5 1/4, and then one piece that's a 1/2 inch by 3 3/4. Let me show you what those pieces are. Okay. So here we have our designer series paper that's 1 inch by 5 1/4, and our Night of Navy that is 1 1/8 by 5 3/8. We have our two pieces of designer series paper that are 2 3/4 inch by 5 1/4. Now you could just use the front and the back. I chose to use two different prints, also from the same designer series paper pack, and they are matted by two pieces of Night of Navy that's 2 7/8 by 5 3/4. Hey, Michelle! Oh my gosh, you are so advanced. Listen to you. I didn't even know you could watch from Alexa. Here's this piece that is 1/2 inch by 5 inches. And for the inside of our card, our basic white panel and the matte layer for that. These are my two scraps. These are going to, I'm going to share. Oh, I didn't cut this. So we'll have to cut this piece as well. I thought I had. Anyway, let's get started. Oh, so for our punch elements, we are using the Easter Bunny. Now, y'all, when I rolled the die last month, for whatever reason, I had a little bit of a brain fog, and I, for whatever reason, thought Easter was in April. I don't know what I was thinking, okay? And so I selected the Easter Bunny set for us to create with. Now, lo and behold, Easter was last month, y'all. So it is what it is, and it's what was rolled, and so here we are creating an Easter card for 2025, okay? So, the Easter Bunny bundle, this was an online exclusive. So, as you know, with online exclusives, they are while supplies. Some of them are while supplies last. We never know when the supplies, but if you are interested in this bundle, you may want to check it out and see if it's still available online. But they are while supplies last. All right. So, let's get cracking now. So, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create our pretty much our base. All right, let's put all these aside. And as I said, this is going to be a fun fold. So on the 8.5 side, we are going to score at 4 1/4 and then 1 1/4. Okay, so our folds again, our score lines are going to be on the 1 1/4 and the 4 1/4. So if you're looking at this card, so you'll have a panel that's 1 1/4, 1 by 3 inches, and one that's 4 1/4. Okay, so now we're just going to burnish these folds, making sure all of our everything lines up. Burnish. Now, what I've taken to doing, just to make sure that, especially when I have fun folds, I tend to burnish my folds on the inside and on the outside and then back again. For me, doing that helps to keep it a little bit flatter, and the folds tend to stay closed a little bit better when I do that little bit of extra burnishing. So now on the other side, when we find this one, we want this to fold towards the valley. So again, making sure that we line everything up. Making sure that we line everything up. We're going to burnish. Turn it around and burnish again. I think we slipped somehow just a tad. Okay, and then once more, and here we go. Okay, and you see how pretty how flat these guys laid, just because I've done that extra burnishing. They tend to lay pretty flat after that. So this is our fun fold. Alright, so now we're going to find our 1-inch piece of designer series paper and its coordinating mat, which should be 1 1/8. And I'm just going to add this. Now, I chose again the Easter bunny print on the Countryside Inn DSP pattern, because we were working with the Easter Bunny Punch. So I thought it was so appropriate. Alright. So yesterday, how was you guys' week? Did you guys do anything fun, interesting? So you should have pretty much maybe about a 1/16 of an inch of a border on each side. There we go. And then burnish. Okay. And then all we're going to do is put this on here. And so all we're doing at this point is just building our base, our card base first. And then we'll get to the stamping and everything else that we need to do. So today I'm also going to be incorporating a little bit of masking, a little bit of embossing, and of course we have to punch because that's part of the elements. There we go. Make sure this is down. Yep, that's perfect. Embellish and burnish that in. And I think because we have on this side a busy print, I'm going to use this print right here versus the same print here. Okay? So that's all we're going to do. This is the easy part, y'all. Actually, it's all easy. I decided to do something quick and simple. I am going to incorporate a little bit of masking technique today. That'll be with our stamping. I'm going to do a little bit of ink blending. So that's where I'm going to spend most of our time, is the actual stamping and designing, okay? So there we go. This is done. Again, burnish. Yesterday I went to a little town called Poteet, Texas. It was the Strawberry Festival. I love strawberries, y'all. I prefer them to watermelon. Do you have a favorite fruit? I actually prefer strawberries. I actually love cherries, but unfortunately cherries are one of those fruits that's not on the, it's not that it's not affordable, it's just really expensive most times for cherries. So it's one of those treats that I do for myself, cherries. But my favorite fruit, well, what's my favorite fruit? I guess they're all seasonal. If you have a favorite fruit, just leave it in the comment for me. I love mangoes. I love cherries. I love strawberries. At home we have local fruits, and I'm from the Virgin Islands in case you did not know. And I love, we have this fruit called a sugar apple. I love me some sugar apples. I love pineapples. We have this another fruit called genips. Some mainlanders call them genips. We call them kenips with a K sound. But I love them. They're definitely available only in the summertime, and it's like I have to beg my family to send them to me. And of course, you know, it's very difficult to send fruit. They can't ship them to me, so it's either I go home and get them, or I wish that I had them, one of the two. I spend a lot of time wishing, because they can't send them by mail. Alright, so we're almost done with laying our card base. Okay. See how quickly that came together? Alright. Last piece on the, well, not last, we got two more things to do. And we're gonna put, let's use a third print. We're gonna use it all. So do we want to put it that way, or do we want to put it that way? I think I'm gonna put it this way. Why not? Why not? Alright. Are you feeling okay, Michelle? We've missed you on Sundays. I know I wasn't able to join y'all last Sunday because I did the Cap 10K, the Capital 10K event. Man, I was a little sore after that. I got home and I was done for. So a 10K is about 6.1, 6.2 miles or something like that for a 10K. And a group of work friends, we decided that we were going to participate in the Capital 10K. And, you know, we had started, quote unquote, training for the Capital 10K, but we had gotten up to doing like 3 miles. Well, let me tell you, doing 3 miles is great, but it is not a good enough preparation for a 10K, the actual 6 miles. The body felt good and it recognized the 3 miles, but when anything after that, it was like, wait a minute, we didn't practice this. But we got through it. It got done. We got our medals, and it was a check. I used to do them all the time, and I just had not been doing them lately just because of health reasons, and it just felt so good getting back into doing those things that, you know, I loved. Alright, so our card base is done. We can set that guy aside. And then we're going to bring in a couple of pieces of basic white. Now these are 2 3/4 by 4. I think that's what I did. 1, 2, 3. 2 3/4 by, that was scrap. Yes, 2 3/4 by 4. And in the stamp set, I'm going to take the little grass image, and I'm going to, where's my mossy meadow? And I'm just going to stamp the mossy meadow. Now you see I've already created a mask. Like you guys, when you create masks, don't throw them out. You can reuse them until the tackiness is gone from the mask. Oh, wait, when did you sprain? You're telling me something I don't know here. We have a lot to catch up on this afternoon. Yes, ma'am. We have a lot to catch up on. All right, so we're just going to stamp our little grassy elements right across this panel. Okay. All right. I'm going to put this away for now. Put this off to the side. And then let that dry. I'm going to put this mask right back in here. And so what masking does, so if you're not familiar with masking, right, what masking does, this is a step in which you're able to add dimension to your projects, okay? So I'm going to stamp the bunny just like this. Now, this was going to be the piece that I used. And I wanted my bunny to be behind the grass, okay? So in order for the bunny to be behind the grass, I kind of had to mask the grass and then stamp the bunny over it. So it's a way of adding dimension and depth to a project. I don't know if you can, oh Lord, there you go. If you can see, the bunny looks like it's behind the grass, right? And that's because I masked. So that's what masking does for a project. Okay, so here we go. We're going to put this here. And I'm going to move this a little bit more centered. And the only reason I'm going to do that is because I had stamped that guy out to use this bunny. But if you'll notice, the punch is not a straight up and down punch. It's the other image. So I had to redo my plan there. And so here we have our bunny. And I'm going to stamp the bunny on it. And here's why. I'm going to do it for placement. All right. Oh, but I'm going to punch it out. But I want to know exactly where I'm going to place this. Okay. Perfect. And so I'm going to stamp the bunny again. And I'm going to put the bunny on this one. I'm also going to, all right, so let's leave this guy to the side. Now, the bunny is white, you guys. We don't want to keep it cardstock white. That's just not how we color. I color. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with my light and my dark gray granite, and that's how I'm going to add color so that you can see from here, you can tend to see based upon the colors that I placed on here, you can see this is a white bunny, even though I have gray tones all around. It just pronounces the white just a little bit more. So I go in with the gray granite, the dark. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to do a quick outline. Alright? Because the underbelly of the bunny is going to be white, right? So let's do that. Let's do that. I'm not sure why I do it this way. I must have seen somebody design it that way. And then here. And then here. Okay. Then I'm going to go in with the light gray granite, also with the bullet tip. And I'm just going to blend that out just a little bit. I don't want it to go too far out because I really just want a hint of color. Just like so. Okay. And if you needed to, if you went outside the lines or anything like that, you could go also in with the blender pen and take some of that color out if you feel that you went a little heavy-handed. All right, so now for the ears, I'm going to put that as my light bubble bath. Going with the dark. And then again, the light. Okay. Y'all, our bunnies, oh, I'm going to give him a pink tail. Here comes Peter Cottontail, hopping down the bunny trail. Thank you, Michelle. I thank you so much. It was a little hard, but it got done. And then just a little pink on the belly. That's it. So there we have our bunny. Now we can punch it out. And this is going to be the punched element on from our list. I think that's even. Here we go. All right, so we did our DSP. It's Easter. We punched. We used neutrals. And there we go. So what I'm going to do, ultimately, is I'm going to add this, and I'm going to pop this up. Now, I stamped on there just to make sure that I had good placement and I knew that everything I was going to place and where I was going to place it. So that's why I did that. All right, so do you see that with the stamping, how the masking, and it looks like the bunny is absolutely behind the grass. If I wanted the bunny to be in front, then I would have stamped the bunny first, and then the grassy images. So when you're masking, you kind of have to take a moment to think about what it is you're trying to do with your image. What is it that you want to be front and center, and then you work with it that way. All right, so for my grass, mossy meadow. And all I'm doing is flicking where there's already the outline of the grass. And I'm flicking, put that away. I'm going to flick with the light lemon lolly, or the dark lemon lolly. So I want to have a different blend of the grass. And then I'm going to let that dry for a second, and then I'm going to go right in over all of it with the light lemon lolly. All right, so what we're going to do next is, there is a, oh, I didn't mask, do my mask for my bunny. Then I have to mask the last one. All right, so let's get our mask done for our bunny. And how do you create a mask? Well, which side has my little sticky? So I want to make sure that wherever has a lot of sticky, and that's going to go right there. Okay. Well, I guess I didn't have enough ink on here. You can also create your mask based upon whatever residue of ink that you have. You can punch it out. Now, the only reason I did not punch it is because with the punch, as you can see with the punch, it leaves a little bit of a border around the punch, right? So I don't really want that on my mask. When you create a mask, you literally will cut off, generally, cut off that outline line, okay? So what I'm going to end up doing now is taking some paper snips, where did my snips go? There they are. And I need the light back on. Sorry, y'all, because I can't see. And then as I'm cutting the mask, I will try very hard to cut the actual ink line out. And the reason you do that is so that when you start to color or ink blend or whatever, however you're masking, you won't have a little bit of that line in between. Okay, and I'll show you what I mean in just a little bit. And again, when you're fussy cutting, my favorite tip for you guys is when you're fussy cutting, turn your cardstock or your paper, or whatever it is you're cutting, with your non-dominant hand. That way, I find that your cuts are cleaner and they're more precise. They actually end up where you want your cuts to be, if that makes any sense, okay? All right. And then I don't want to cut off too much of the line. I know, you just have to do it enough for you to kind of get a feel for what's the right amount and what's not. Are you going to join us? Are you going to be able to join us for stamping this afternoon, Michelle? So the other Stamp Time with Friend design team member that's joining us and participating today is Miss Tiffany McGill. Don't forget her information should be in my description to go over and check out her video to see what project she's creating for y'all today. When you get over there, just let her know that I sent you over there and leave her a comment as well. We do appreciate every single comment that we receive, as it lets us know that you are enjoying the projects that we are creating for you. If you also have any suggestions about projects that you'd like to see, I'm one that would definitely love to hear your thoughts. If there's anything you'd like for me to present for you, create, if you have a stamp set or a product that you that you bought but maybe don't know how to use it, awesome. Then so we're gonna need to put this guy back on. Where's my other mask? It's not in. Here we go. So we need this here because now I'm getting ready to put some Easter eggs on here. So you can see when we put these two eggs are gonna get lost. So we're gonna end up stamping it here once. Like so. Then I'm gonna lift this this guy up. Put our mask back here. And then I'm going to stamp some more eggs. Now you can always create more than one mask if you're going to do a project that has like lots of elements. And then here we go with some more eggs right there. Okay. So again, why did I stamp the bunny on here? Because now I know that when I go to put my colored image on, I kind of have a vision as to how it's going to look because I'm already creating this on the blank, okay? So that's all the stamping we're going to do there. Now I keep these will be here. And then one more thing that I'm getting ready to do for you guys is I'm getting ready to, I'm going to grab my lemon lolly. It is not it's not a neutral, but I want to brighten my bunny up just a little bit. Not the bunny, but the image. So let's put this back on. And sometimes when you're masking and you're doing these types of projects, you kind of have to have somewhat of a vision as to what it is you want to do and where you're wanting to go with your project. Okay, because if you don't have that, you might end up having to redo things more than once because you didn't put something in the right place. All right, so with my lemon lolly, I'm going to grab a blending brush. Grab this back. And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of highlight back here. I'm tapping off. Just like that. Okay, now how much color you do, that's completely up to you. So I think that's good enough for me. Okay. All right, so let's quickly color these eggs. Let's see. I'm gonna make our eggs yellow, lemon lolly. Okay. Bubble bath. We're gonna dye this one there. I think I'm done with that. And then we're gonna put a little bit of, so I'm definitely not using neutral colors now. I am definitely in the subtles family because I think this reminds me of more Easter. And because I am making an Easter card, I'm definitely gonna do that for at least those elements, okay? And then lemon lolly's back. And then I wanna do some purple. Let's go with, where's my fresh freesia? Some fresh freesia. So we got fresh freesia, and I think I'm gonna go with soft sea foam. just so I have the element of Easter. Okay. All right, so that's done, you guys. So now I'm just gonna put some dimensions on this. Dimensions there. A little bit of dimension here. And that should be enough. Perfect. All right, so we have got all these elements here, you guys. And I'm pretty pleased with how we turned out with our Easter bunny image. Now, the other thing I'm going to do, because I like bling, so I'm going to grab me my Wink of Stella pen, and I'm going to just rub it all over here, so this will be all shiny. I'm going to do the same thing with the bunny ears. I'm going to do the same thing with the grass. So it'll be all sparkly. There you go. All right, so now we have, and I did not create that. I thought I had cut that, but I did not. So this is 2 3/4 by 4. So I need my mat to be 2 7/8. It's not gonna work there. Yes, no, that's not gonna work. All right, no problem. So I need my mat to be 2 7/8, because that's just 1/8 of an inch bigger, by 4 1/8. I get to play with my new pre-ordered items. I think I'm going to start playing with those guys today in our little quiet time. Yes. All right, so here we have this. Oops. And now how do you align this on here? So what you have to do is, it's up to you. I like to make sure in this particular instance that when I line up this edge piece, that it's flush with the edge of the card base. You can make it flush with the inside piece. It's your preference. But for me, design-wise, I want it to be flush with the edge of the card base. So what that says to me is I got to be mindful now of where I'm going to put adhesive, right? So I just need it to be in between here and here. I don't want it to seal shut the other side. So I'm making sure that when I put this on here, there we go, make sure that it's lined up on that side and lined up on the top. Oops. There we go. And then once I'm sure, I'll burnish. Okay? That's pretty darn amazing, huh? So there we have that. Now the last thing we've got to do is we've got to stamp our sentiment, okay? And we are working with Easter because that is what we said we were doing. And where's that Easter sentiment, right? Happy Easter right there. Next month is May. So guys, if you have a technique that you're wanting to see, something you've wanted to try, throw it out there for me. I'm getting ready to roll the die when I'm done with this card. And what I'm going to do with that is, when you roll the die, is I am going to add a technique to the roll that the other artisan members will have to create using. Alright, so I think I'm going to just stamp in black and emboss. Where's my embossing powder? I did put it away. Think of a technique, something you would like to see, and we are going to make projects with whatever the die rolls plus that technique. So I'm going to go about here. And it doesn't really matter based upon what I'm going to be doing, okay? I know we talked about masking. We've done masking. There's kissing technique. There's a mirror image technique. There's, I don't know, faux tile technique. So many different techniques we can play with. So now that we've embossed, let that sit there for a minute, put things away. And then we're going to fussy cut around that, mask it on some Night of Navy, and then this card will be done. Okay, you guys? So while that's letting that sit for a second, I'm going to go ahead and put everything away, because I'm trying very hard to be that kind of person, you know, the one that puts things away as soon as you're done with them. Ask me how that works out for me. I love these little mask things, because then that helps me to make sure that I have everything that I'm supposed to have when I put things away, and I know exactly where they fit. That goes there. This goes here ish. This goes here. So I'm going to grab this. And you can leave these right here so that you'll grab them next time you need them. And I got my bunny somewhere. There he is. So when we're done putting these away, we should be able to go ahead and fussy cut out our sentiment. All right. So again, we are using the Easter Bunny set. This is an online exclusive. So online exclusives, as you know, are while supplies last. I'm not sure what the status is. I forgot to check before I came online today. And then here we go. Don't forget as well, the last chance retirement list products are available. What are the last chance retirement list? Well, items. Those are items from the current annual catalog and the January through April mini catalog that will be retiring either. Now, retiring from that list, which is published, is in the case of some of the bundles, it just means that they're no longer eligible for bundle pricing, or at least they won't be available in the new catalog at bundle pricing. But some of them will be available in the catalog. So if you do have a catalog, you should be able to see those items in that section of the catalog. Oh, Michelle, the name is escaping me. If you know the section, please let me know. The section in the new catalog, I can't remember it. The catalog was revamped a little bit in terms of organization. And there's a new section in there that is just for all of the stamps and products that are returning. So, here we go. And I'm just fussy cutting the sentiment, okay? Just a quick cut. Like so, like so. There we go. There we go. And almost done with our fussy cutting. At least for this part, right? So we got that fussy cut out. And then I'm going to find me a piece of blue. Then all I'm going to do is pop this guy right on it. No, it won't fit on there. That was just me trying to be economical and reuse what's been cut already. Go. And then this is almost done. All right. Still looking for any recommendations for techniques. I'm open. If there's something that you want to see, in one of my swap groups, I'm doing the mirror image technique. Yeah. I know. Sometimes you just got to break out some of the old favorites, you know, and dust them off. And there are people joining stamping, new to stamping all the time. And so it's just an opportunity to, you know, share with folks whatever's possible with stamping through some of the older techniques that some people have forgotten. I'm just wanting a little bit of a border here. I don't want anything too big. So I'm making this fairly quick. Fairly quick. Sometimes they're like, I think they call them shadow dies. I love when sentiments come with shadow dies, because that's exactly what I'm doing with this sentiment, is I am shadowing it. And there we go. And we're just going to add that right to this card, and then you guys, this card will be finished. So we stepped it up a little bit from our sample. We added the Easter eggs instead of the carrot. Oh, love these things. Strips, foam strips come in handy. Yeah. I love them. Anything that's foam anything is awesome for me, because I love to add dimensions to my projects. All right. All right, if you're watching, should we add bling or no? Should we add some pearls or some gems on this? What are your thoughts? Grab that out of the way. Let me move that here. So I know you've already made your cards for Easter 2024, but hey guys, there's absolutely nothing wrong with being prepared for Easter 2025. And so here we have our projects today, using the elements rolled from the die last month for today's projects. We used Easter, we had punches, designer series paper, using the Stampin' Up neutrals. And here we go. So this was our sample, our template. And here's the card we created for you today. Just a little bit different. Pearls. Ooh, Michelle said pearls. All right. All right. Let me go find me some pearls. All right, all right, all right. I just saw them today too. Go. All right, so there we go with our project for today, featuring the elements rolled from the die last month. So let's take a look and see what our projects are going to be for next month. Hold on, let me grab out my dies, and while I'm doing that, I'm going to bring the dimensions back in here for you guys. That way you can take a look at them, and if you wanted to create today's cards, you have the opportunity to take a screenshot of the measurements so that you can work with them if you wish to do so. All right, let's grab out our dies. Aha! Well, you guys, that element right there, embossing. It's a good thing I embossed my sentiment right, because I almost forgot that one. Woo! Well, there you have it. All right. So here are the illustrious dies. And here's what I'm going to do next time, guys. I have this wheel on my iPad. It's like a spinning wheel. I'm probably going to take all of the elements from here and add them to the die. And maybe that's how I'm going to do the spin. That way you can see them, and I'm not always trying to figure out how I'm going to roll these die. All right, so let's take a look and see where we're going for next month. Got them in a little bag. Shaky, shaky, shaky. I know emboss. So I'm never in danger of not embossing anything. Alright, so here we go. Alrighty. So, we have monochromatic, embellish, masculine. We did neutrals today, so I'm going to re-roll that one and see where we got. And layering. Alright, it says brights. Alright, so what I'm going to do is re-roll the die. Okay, it wants us to do brights. So we are going to do brights, y'all. Techniques? Anybody? Anybody? Alright, so since I'm going to wait again until 1 week from today. If you have any thoughts at all about what type of techniques that you want to see us create using, go ahead and leave that in the comments. I will check back on next Sunday, 1 week from today, which will be the 21st, and I will do the drawing for the winner of this week's card, as well as to see if there's any techniques, and that will be added to this list. So there will be 6 elements that we are creating from for next month. Monochromatic, masculine, embellish, layering, and brights. Alright? Alright, you guys, thanks for joining me today. I hope you had fun creating and crafting with me today. If you are joining me in on our little afternoon craft session, I will see you in just a little bit. If not, I will see you on Tuesday for Technique Tuesday. Thanks, guys. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and to invite your friends to join you on Sundays, the second Sunday of the month, as we roll the die. Happy stamping!